We get that nice squirt sound effect.
Yeah, that's good.
On the audio. So what's up, man?
There's really no way that we can do this wrong.
Not
So
really, no.
We can just
Other
edit
than
it out.
saying that, yeah.
Just other than me saying.
Right. Yeah, I have a lot of... I don't know. I guess I have hang-ups about doing this because the noises travel very well in this building. But I think I just need to stop living in fear.
That is true.
You know, because... like, you heard my neighbor sneezing the other day.
I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah. I mean, he can probably hear me making
I sneeze
a
very
comment about
loudly.
it.
Like, very loudly. And it's not even close to your neighbor.
Yeah. It's a whole... It
also, the
sounds like a
consistency
full
was
body thing for
pretty
him.
incredible.
The what?
The consistency of your neighbor sneezing?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not always...
You think eventually he would just die if he was that sick.
Yeah, yesterday it was... I think when Harry was here, it was... There were at least 12, which sneezes, that's a lot.
Yeah, at that
I'd
volume
say.
as well.
Yeah, good guy. But, yeah, and then my upstairs neighbors, I can hear their voices clearly also, which sucks.
Dude, I have the same thing.
Yeah.
Where, like, at night, I'll hear the guy below me, like, breathing. And then I'll be screaming slurs and whatnot in my apartment. And I'm just like, so is this just going all to him?
Yeah.
There's a small family below me.
Yeah.
Well, there's a kid with this. There's a family with a small kid.
Yeah.
So
below you?
Below me.
Okay.
Yeah. They're an African family.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
Do you hang out with them?
I do sometimes. The kid Sam, he comes up and he's got like a Nerf gun and he'll like hold me hostage, me and my other roommate. And sometimes we'll just be like extremely high outside and he'll walk up to us and want to chop it up and we got to shut it down.
How old is he?
He's I think he's like 10.
Oh.
9, 10.
Yeah, does he know you're stoned? It's not, I don't like to be high around kids. I feel like when I've done that, I've felt really bad.
If I could choose.
Especially when they kind of know.
You've been around kids that knew you were high?
I think so.
Really? When? Where?
I've at least gotten high and had my niece go like.
Oh, okay, family.
She's like, what? I don't know. She like asked me why my mood changed, kind of. I was like, I didn't like it.
Why are you happier, Uncle Jackson?
Huh?
Why are you so much happier, Uncle Jackson? Why have you come out of this dark depression that you've been in?
Yeah.
Is that how you were acting? Like more?
No, I think I was acting more like subdued, like less.
Oh,
talkative.
okay. More mellow.
I think, I don't know. A lot of times I don't really like smoking in social situations. I don't really think of it as
Dude,
like
I'm
a
not gonna
social
lie.
thing. I kind of just go into my own.
Yeah.
Like if I'd rather just it be at the end of my day and I don't have to talk to anybody.
That's perfect.
Because I've just made a fool of myself in conversation. Like just being stoned in a public place, I hate it so much.
When was the last time you made a fool of yourself? You feel?
I don't know. I think I ate edibles at an open mic, and then I had planned to leave, but then I stayed, and it got like particularly dark, like
the mood or
the whole mood.
What mic
of the open mic? Doesn't matter which one it was.
Okay.
But and then I continued. I ended up.
It was a dark, stormy night at my buddy's.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I just ended up staying, and I felt very weird. And I talked to somebody. I was talking like in a group of people that I didn't really know, and I just felt that I'd acted weird. This isn't that interesting, and I'm being vague about it, so I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't.
Through
know.
the power of editing.
This isn't.
Also, nothing matters. We're all
we
gonna
don't
die.
have to go.
We're literally all gonna die.
Yeah,
we're all
no,
gonna
I
die.
know.
Well,
I don't want to talk about being anxious.
It's okay.
High.
Well, so I was
a
gonna say
gay subject.
Recently, it is a gay
happens to
subject,
everybody.
but I've been a little gay recently.
Right.
So
This is on, right?
yeah, I believe so.
I don't know. I'm just so positive that we're somehow gonna fuck this.
I mean, it's probably.
How can you tell?
The switch is up.
Okay, good.
Talking to your microphone.
Check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right,
I just
you're good.
felt like we didn't really check the individual.
No, we didn't. We did.
Because I don't want to. I don't know.
Full disclosure to all three people listening. I know my little cousin listens to everything, Matthew. So I
What
can
up,
shout
Matthew?
out Matthew. Dude, he wants to build a space elevator.
Is he? How old is he?
He's like a little 13-year-old savant.
Nice. Hell
Yeah.
Science genius Matthew.
Yeah.
The spicy bambino. He's gonna build a space elevator. You hear
I don't know
about
if
this
I'd call
kid?
him a spicy
He's
bambino.
a wonderkid. This kid.
He's a
building
wonderkid.
a fucking elevator
Yes,
to space.
space elevator, yeah.
No, hell yeah.
He's getting all the way up there.
Does he want to be like an astrophysicist or something?
I think he just wants to do a lot of crazy shit.
What would you have to be to build a space elevator? You have to be like an intergalactic architect,
Something like that.
something like that.
Intergalactic architect?
What do you got to be? Some kind of like intergalactic architect. I'm just gonna repeat the
I was
same
thinking
thing.
like an intergalactic construction worker, just like hitting on hot aliens going by.
cat calling,
Yeah.
cat calling to other
Nice
Battlestar
tentacles.
Galacticans. Nice tentacles.
I'd love to wrap your
That's-
tentacles around my my throat.
Oh, that chick's got 3 pussies. Whoa, how we doing?
Hey, you got 4 titties under there. I see.
Oh, jeez.
Sound like Rodney Dangerfield now.
Yeah, even in space, they're objectifying.
They can't escape it. No.
Yeah,
I think that no matter where we go, women will always be.
What kind of
I
what kind of hot take are you laying down here?
I think that there's no way we go to Mars and like all of a sudden a woman's gonna be president.
Yeah, I
It's not gonna
guess.
magically change things.
Right.
I don't think.
We'd probably carry our old ways over to Mars. I guess maybe by the time we colonize Mars, we'll have like turned into an optimized egalitarian society.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like that's the plan.
No, but I don't think that we're gonna achieve peace or equality anytime soon.
You don't think the
No, I think that if we
you
had
don't
gone
want the
to
whole world to be like Singapore, where it's like
an apparent utopia,
yeah, I don't want, yeah.
Or
I just was thinking of
Mike Dwyer's joke. Great joke. Shout out Mike Dwyer.
An apparent utopia, but the tiniest infraction will get you the death penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we went to Mars in like in the 1800s, people would bring their slaves to Mars. Do you see what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
Again, we can edit, so we can cut. We can cut
No,
everything.
no,
The
we're
pod.
keeping it
We
all
could make
in.
it so the pod didn't even start yet. Right?
Yeah, it could,
Fresh new start right
it
now.
could start in media res,
Yeah.
as they say in the French film business. Perverted French filmsmen.
I think they're more pure, if anything.
The French?
Yeah, because they're letting teddies fly and stuff.
Yeah, I
That's
can see
their
that. They're
thing.
more
Yeah.
they're more like
More-
sexually
more
liberated.
avant-garde. Yeah,
Yeah.
they understand it's a necessary. Kids can watch whatever. I don't know. Wait, what?
When I was like pretty young, I had a friend who told me, and I was maybe a virgin at the time, or maybe had sex once, but he's like telling me
How
about
old were
this,
you?
like I don't know, like 18.
Okay.
But he's like telling me that he had sex with a French girl, and he's like, she like licked my ass.
Dude.
I was like, oh my god. Like, I didn't even think it sounded good. I was like, what? She licked your... It was the first time anyone ever told me that happened to them.
It's gonna be overwhelming as a virgin to hear that.
Yeah, I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, damn. How do you meet the French girl?
He went to India. Pretty interesting guy, yeah. He went to India for like 4 months. He like dropped out of high school and he went to India, and then I guess he met her at some point.
You guys fart box tongued.
Not me, him.
Yeah.
I'm telling someone else's story, which is lame.
no, it's okay. Because it's from the perspective of you as a virgin.
Yeah, I had to
so
conclude
I
it
can
there.
I can understand
I had
that.
to make sure that I'm in the story and I'm pathetic.
No, that's okay. I understand. I remember hearing about sex before I had sex, and I could not even wrap my head around it. Dude, when I watched the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin when I was a kid, I was so fully convinced that I would never have sex in my life ever.
You're like, I'm gonna be Steve Carell.
100%. I was like, they were making fun of him for riding a bike, and I remember being a kid and watching it and being like, that's economical. Like it's not economical, but he's helping the environment. He's doing his part.
With that
I did.
Yeah. Like, working at Best Buy, they have good benefits.
Yeah.
It's a stable income. What's fucking wrong with that?
They pay half of his life insurance. That's not bad.
Probably but 401k if you opt in.
If you opt in.
Make sure to take a look at the policy changes to the health insurance.
Yeah.
It no longer covers anything. a little footnote in the company email.
Yeah, you got to read the fine print.
Make sure you don't have any medical problems.
Yeah, because they will fuck you at Best Buy.
Because you will get finger popped.
So we could start the pod now.
You don't want me to say finger popped?
No, finger popped is fine. But we're talking about having anxiety about how you're acting around other people. The other day when I climbed a tree and got stuck.
You got stuck in a tree.
I reflected on that later. Big time.
I know you probably weren't having a good time. I guess we should clarify. Harry tried to climb a tree, and it wasn't a very climbable tree. It was kind of a tree you'd see in Chicago.
It was climbable. I took the wrong approach.
That's been trimmed.
I took the wrong approach.
No, maybe you took the wrong approach, but it's basically like you climbed up, and it was like a little Y in the tree. A fork. And then Harry got stuck in it, and it kind of like compressed his whole body. And it looked like
I couldn't
breathe or move.
I felt like I was spelunking, and I had just gotten.
And then everyone gathered around and took videos and pictures of him.
Yeah, nobody helped.
Stuck in the tree.
That was a really eye-opening moment for me.
It was. I did take a picture of you, but then when I put my phone down, I saw our other 3 friends all taking a video of you, and it kind of made me sad. We all did that at the same time.
I saw some stupid movie scene where it was like a movie with Tom Hanks, and a guy at the subway station falls onto the tracks, and nobody helps the guy. They're all just filming him, and it's like this whole like dystopian world that we're living in. And I saw it, and every single comment was like, "That's so unrealistic. Somebody would help him." And then I was that guy on the railroad tracks. I was stuck in the tree. My ribs were compressed. I couldn't breathe. And I just saw 4 phones looking at me from the street.
But it sounds like in this movie it's like strangers that won't help the person on the tracks.
Yeah, so it was way worse for me. It was incredibly personal. The level of betrayal.
Yeah, it's more like getting stabbed in the back.
It is, yeah. And then as soon as I came down from the tree, which was not graceful, like a beautiful woman and her dog walked by. And I just remember thinking, like, that might be the least attractive thing I've ever done in my life.
She could have been impressed. You don't see a guy climbing a tree every day.
That's true. That's
kind of a nice... Maybe that's a way to attract women.
You just climb shit?
Yeah, but maybe you... I know women probably don't always like being approached, like in a public park or something, but you say, hey, I'm going to climb this tree if you want to watch. I'm going to do it.
It's totally up to you.
And it's for you.
If you want.
And I want to make it clear that I am vying for your love by climbing this tree. But you can walk away. And
I want to make it clear that the scratches on my inner thighs from this rough bark are all because I want your love.
The bark scratches my skin and causes deep cuts, and it's all free.
The pain would be nothing compared to the rejection that you could possibly give me.
Yeah, offer up like a blood sacrifice.
It is a blood sacrifice.
Yeah, in a way.
You're making a blood what's it called when you like cut your hand and you shake?
Blood oath.
With that tree.
Yeah.
Blood oath with that
Have
tree.
You ever made a blood oath?
No. Cum oath. Sticky.
Okay.
Hands got stuck together. No, that was one of the dumbest things I've ever said out loud, and I regret it, and I don't even know what I'm trying to do right now.
Harry's cum oath.
But so the jumping out of the tree, and then the girl thinking that I'm just not attractive at all. The reason I thought about that is because I never really used to reflect on how women are viewing me after I do ridiculous things. And then one night at Shuba's, there were all like the seats in the front. Nobody was sitting in them.
Mm-hmm.
And Sharon was like, if somebody could sit up here, that'd be really awesome. And I like sprinted as fast as I could from the back of the room. And I vaulted over 3 chairs and a table and slammed myself into the chair.
Oh my God.
And everybody was laughing, ha ha ha. And then I remember after that, Sam Biru came up to me and he was like, as I was watching that, I was like, this is funny, but I just couldn't imagine being a woman and watching that and being attracted to it.
Sam.
Yeah, he said that to me, dude. And he's
Some
totally
things
right.
Don't need to be said.
What?
Some things don't need to be said.
I know that was. No, I'm glad he said that. I'm glad he said that because now but I still didn't learn because I climbed a tree and got stuck.
It happens.
I think it should be said. I feel like you're a very cool cucumber. Like you sit back, you let things happen. Occasionally, you'll reel them in with a voice.
What do you mean? In
social settings.
Oh, in social settings?
Yeah, you're never like the guy that's dancing, you know.
I have been, I guess.
Actually, yeah, you get drunk at weddings, right?
Yeah.
I need to see you like really fucked up.
Plenty of people have, and some of them don't even talk to me anymore. No, yeah, I like to drink. Decent amount, I'd say.
I kind of want to see the
I'll cut a
dark
rug
side.
at a wedding. Are you asking me if I dance at weddings? I do.
Why do they call it cutting a rug?
I don't know. I don't like that I said that. I think it's like a 1950s honky term.
No, it's a pretty badass term, cut a rug.
Cut a rug. It does sound cool. I mean, I guess would someone who makes rugs also cut a rug? Is it is it a double entendre?
You'd think at one point they would have to cut the rug.
Yeah, I'm sure at a rug factory they're probably rolling.
What are we talking about?
They're probably rolling the rugs out on like a, I don't know.
I assume
some
there's
kind
one
of circular spinner,
yeah.
and then they're cutting rugs, right?
Yeah, I assume there was
You could
one
also
big
dance.
rug, and then they were chopping it.
Usually you're not really dancing on a rug. Like, I got that rug out there. You don't want to dance on that thing.
No. Rug's probably not a good surface to dance on.
Especially not a shag rug.
No. Shag rug is... That's for ashing cigarettes in.
Right, yeah, that's what I do.
Do you actually?
No.
Okay.
I think you would smell it. No, smoking cigarettes inside is definitely a choice.
Yes.
I think, like, once you do it.
Kind of the point of no return.
Yeah. Well, you can smoke some cigarettes inside.
And you just immediately bent?
I've definitely smoked cigarettes inside where I did it, like, next to a window. But you're kind of tricking yourself into thinking
you're holding your arm outside. You're like, I'm not smoking inside.
Like, yeah. But it's all blowing back in.
Yeah.
Like 30-degree air.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to go outside to smoke this cigarette.
I've done that. Not with cigarettes, though.
Yeah, anything. If you're trying to smoke anything when it's cold outside and blow it out the window at all immediately, it just shoots back in.
It's kind of nice to smoke outside because every single time you exhale, you're not sure whether or not you're actually exhaling smoke or not. I said not a lot of times there. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's just chilly.
Yeah.
Just cold.
Yeah.
Do you remember being a little kid and like pretending to smoke when it was cold and you thought it was like this fun thing? And now
yeah, we thought smoking stuff was the coolest thing.
Yeah, I used to smoke baby carrots all the time in the cold. I thought it was like the coolest thing. I would even like take a lighter to them sometimes and film myself doing it.
Yeah.
And I really thought that was funny.
Yeah.
And that was like high school too. And yeah, now I'm just like very sad.
Yeah.
And I actually smoke.
Yeah, there was some novelty to it. We would like take like paper and like roll it up.
Oh wow.
And then like smoke.
Oh, so you were just inhaling the paper?
Yeah. I don't know.
That's dedication.
It was, I guess. But we would also, I don't know, I guess we were just constantly burning things, so that was just like a natural progression.
Fire is so fun.
But I always hate I guess I'm not burning things like regularly now.
Yeah.
But when you have a fire going and then someone throws like a bunch of plastic in it.
I was that kid.
Yeah. I don't know, like
I didn't know. And then it
you know
turns
when
like
you're with your
green,
friends, you're
blue,
all burning
purple
stuff, and someone's like, "I'm gonna light this." We would take the Capri Sun straws and light those on fire, and it would like drip, and it would make this like noise when it would drip from like a weird air going up the straw. It was that.
Can
was
I hear
kinda
that
cool.
noise?
I don't. It was like I don't know.
Were you guys doing it for the noise? Was that the end goal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you take the bug spray. That was kind of like a
Flamethrower.
Yeah. But then you always run the risk that the flame like travels back.
Does that ever happen? That's like when people say you
say
can't like fart with the flame, right?
The parents say don't
'Cause then
make a
it inhales.
flamethrower.
Does your asshole inhale?
I think I'd probably
Like when you
your
burp, you're
asshole
not.
can kind of inhale.
Can it? Oh man.
I'm sure some people can inhale with it.
I'm so sorry.
I've seen videos
Your mother,
of
no.
assholes inhale.
I've seen assholes inhale things.
I didn't want to see it, but
Yeah, they're stuffed in there. Man,
I like the plants. We got nice greenery behind us.
plants are good.
Magnificent palm.
The plants are good.
Everyone.
I was gonna say, dude, I think you have to repot
Dude.
that palm.
I told you that I had to repot the palm earlier. Then you're going to come back at me and repackage this as plant advice from you? Get out of here. Get the fuck.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I do really need to repot it, which means I probably have to get special soil. We're talking about the most boring shit.
No. But here's the thing.
I do
but
need
here's
to
the
go
thing,
to
dude.
Lowe's and get special soil for the palm. I think it's like tropical soil.
People
But
might
you'd be surprised how well the palm does in here because it does good in kind of lowish light.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I was telling Sam, is that we can do about 100 podcasts before we're ready. So this doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
Right.
We're all gonna die. We could start the podcast right now. You know,
I think we did.
at any time. But I could just completely cut everything that we've said about assholes inhaling. And then you went right to plants. And your neighbors are outside.
Are they?
Bringing in Trader Joe's.
All right, I'm gonna not look at them. Did you look at them? Don't look at them.
Yes, I am looking at them.
Don't look at them.
The
Stop it.
guy looks like the guy from
Stop
Toy
look-
Story that like
Stop looking at my neighbors.
refinishes Woody's shoes. Oh no! He looks like the fat guy from Toy Story, the
Don't
one that
say
steals
that.
Woody
You
and
can
then
hear
gives
me.
him to the guy that
Don't
refinishes
say
the
mean
shoes.
stuff about.
He's very talented though.
He is, yeah, the guy in Toy Story 2,
Yeah.
the collector,
Mm-hmm.
but he is the villain in the movie. Well,
No. The
villain
collector is just doing his job.
yeah,
The guy
but
that gives him to the collector, right?
who gives him.
Isn't there?
No, I think the collector kind of just
There's like a
happens
schlubby.
upon the doll, right?
Doesn't
He-
a schlubby guy get the doll?
Yeah, so she gets. They have that whole scene in Toy Story 2 where it's so sad where they play. I don't know. Is it like a Sarah McLachlan song? And
Probably.
they show her like
I think it's a Travis Scott song.
growing up with her owner, I guess, and then she eventually goes off to college, and they put her in a box, and she gets given away.
Who's her?
The girl Woody, Woody's
Oh,
Woody's gal pal.
What's her name?
Cassie?
Sally?
Cassie?
Uh,
I want to say like
Callie?
Cassidy. I can't remember what her name is.
let's get this.
I-
Oh, you're gonna Google it?
Yeah,
Come on, dude.
there's no way I'm gonna think of what it is.
If you really dug deep,
It's something
memories
with a fucking
reconstructive, you
C,
could
I
get
know
it.
is. When I got COVID, I watched all the Toy Stories.
That's a sad time to watch.
Dude, it was
Fucking-
bad.
Were you
yeah.
crying?
Oh yeah, dude. I watched a shitload of Pixar movies, and there's so many tearjerkers in there. I mean,
Yeah.
Up. Everyone knows the 1st
Mhm.
10 minutes of Up, and then, I mean, I watched the one Turning Red,
I haven't
which
seen
is
that
kind
one.
of like that's
about
kind
getting
of
too high, right?
focused on like it's like Asian Americans and their like relationship with their immigrant parents, which is always a recipe for me crying. Anything with Asian parents being hard on their kids,
Yeah.
I'm fucking crying. Like
That's
everything
sad.
everywhere all at once.
Uh
Cry City.
Waterworks.
My dad didn't like that movie and it pissed me off.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Sometimes someone gives you a hot take on a movie and It actually does piss me off.
Makes you think genuinely less of them as a person.
Jesse is Jesse.
Jesse.
Voiced by Joan Cusack. The great Joan Cusack. She's the principal in School of Rock.
So Jesse is put into a box.
Yeah, she gets given away, basically.
But she's not refinished. Woody is.
Oh, yeah, and Woody...
How does Woody get to the old guy painting his shoe?
I remember. Woody somehow they're having a yard sale at the house. Woody gets lost in the shuffle. And he somehow...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The
mom. Yeah.
And then the guy... He either
schlubby guy gets him.
I think where the schlubby guy is a villain off the bat is I don't think he buys Woody because they wouldn't have sold him. I think he sort of like sees it and like takes it, but I can't really remember.
Collector's item.
But I'm glad we're getting an in-depth, detailed synopsis of Toy Story 2.
Yeah, the people forgot.
It's good. It's probably better than the first one.
Is 2 the one with Lotso, the bear, or was that 3?
Lotso, that's 3.
Okay, my bad.
That's when they go to the daycare.
The ending of 3 is dark, or it's not. Well, where it teases the ending, where they're all in like the it's not a trash compactor, but it's this like incinerator, and they're all like holding hands.
Yeah,
that was dark.
Yeah,
for a bunch of toys.
They're going in the jaws of death.
Yeah.
No, the third one's good. Fourth one.
There's a fourth.
Sucks dick. Yeah, fuck that fucking movie.
Whoa.
Pixar can go fuck themselves on that one. You didn't need to make the fourth one. You finished it up nicely with the trilogy. I'm coming down on Pixar right now.
Dude, do it.
They didn't need to make the movie.
One thing I will say, not to give Pixar their flowers, every single mom in Pixar notably has a dump truck ass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, have you not noticed that? That's a whole thing.
No, I mean, obviously Mrs. Incredible.
Elastigirl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the only one I would think of. But that's almost like
and
a
the little
meme
kid
at this point, how hot.
And the little kid from Up.
Huh?
The little kid from Up.
Okay, come on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I knew that little Asians made you emotional, so.
Is that kid Asian?
Yeah. He's definitely Asian.
Yeah, maybe. I thought the kid was kind of racially ambiguous. But the old man is me.
I'm very good at race. Really? How is that?
I just feel like I'm that guy.
You're not grumpy?
I will be when
really?
I'm that age.
What?
And I'm going to have so many balloons.
It's really the juxtaposition of having a lot of balloons and being grumpy. I guess that's the entire movie. It's the point
where he's so grumpy, but then all of a sudden
you have the most colorful. He looks like a main feature in a pride parade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be sweet if someone recreated the house from Up.
Just had two guys butt fucking in the window. As the house just like a foot off the ground floats.
And then they fall to their deaths doing what they loved most.
Yeah. 1 foot off the... I was wondering the other day if anybody's ever had sex while skydiving.
I'm sure.
I think they have.
Probably, yeah.
Well, it's sort of like stand-up now where it's... No, not like stand-up. Just, like... Skydiving is this thing that's like so horrifying that most people wouldn't ever do it. And then you see like the videos of the guys passing bowling balls back and forth. Have you seen that in the air?
No.
They're like bored with almost dying. Yeah. So that like they like jump off without a parachute and then their buddy catches up to them and gives them a parachute.
Yeah, that's crazy. When I see videos like that, I can't even really like put myself in the mind of someone who does stuff like that. It's cool.
I respect it.
I respect it for sure. It's just I feel like they're wired.
But that adrenaline, yeah. You ever heard the Niki Lauda quote? Or Niki Lauda, Formula One. He was a German race car driver, Formula One guy. And maybe he said it, maybe James Hunt said it, maybe they made it up for the movie, but he said the closer to death you are, the more alive you feel.
Yeah.
I feel that. A lot of people disagree with that.
That must kind of sum up how those people feel about it then.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, you ever been in, like, a very near-miss car accident, and then you pull over, you just feel your fucking heart pumping? That's the most alive you'll ever feel.
Yeah.
Is right after you almost die. Because then it puts into perspective, oh, shit, everything could end. right now.
Yeah. I almost got crushed by like a giant rock one time.
What?
And then like, directly afterwards.
That's like the scariest Thomas the Tank Engine episode. With the boulder.
Yeah, it was a giant boulder.
How'd that happen?
It was a very stupid circumstance where we like, when I was in college, we went on like a night hike, basically, like in the mountains. And then, not mountains, like foothills of the mountains, still big. But like, we were like on like a trail, and then someone was like, I was hanging out with these guys in college at this point in time that were in like ROTC. So they were like, I don't know. They would just pretend to know. I don't really know how to summon them, but they'd like pretend to know more than they do about anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Protect and serve.
Yeah. But they're like, we should go off the trail. And we were like,
respect.
Yeah. They're like, we'll go up this like, it was pretty steep. They're like, we'll go up this like steep like hill, but it should only be like 100 yards. They made something up because it was pitch black. They're like, it should only be like 100 meters up. They said something like that.
Yeah.
Like we knew because it was pitch black. So we went up, but then eventually it was like it wouldn't end, and we were going up, and then it like felt way too dangerous to go down because it was dark. So we just kept going. We're like, we have to keep climbing up. It's like kind of loose rocks sort of thing.
You can't see anything?
We can a little bit.
Do you have
like,
headlights, flashlights?
Headlamps.
Okay.
Yeah. But as far as like seeing the distance of how far it would be to get to the top, we had no idea. But then it just became too dangerous to go down. And then eventually it was like we were all kind of spread out because we didn't want to all be like next to each other.
Because the loose rocks?
Yeah. But then someone was ahead of me, like 20 feet up. And I guess there was this giant rock, like my whole arm span, like 6 feet wide. And they like leaned on it, and I guess it was just ready to get jarred loose. So like I saw it in the dark. I saw the boulder because it was so heavy that sparks like shot.
No
up
fucking way.
from under it.
You saw the light from sparks?
Yeah. And me and this my friend, this girl, we were both kind of next to each other climbing, and like we both saw it, and your like adrenaline kind of kicks in. And just like, I feel like I had blacked out for like probably only a couple seconds or something, but we had moved like 15 feet to the left, like out of the way.
Yeah.
But it was like, it didn't even feel like I did it. You know, it was like, it just like.
Just happened?
You just like see it and you're like, oh, I'm going to die. And then like your whole brain, like it felt like some weird part of your brain just takes over. Like, to save you,
fight or flight.
and then you come back and you're like, whoa. But yeah, that's like the only time I think I've almost like actually tangibly been like, oh, that would have.
Did it literally? Did you jump out of the way and then the boulder just fucking went between you guys?
Yeah, and then
did you guys go to the same side or did you go?
We both moved the same way.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would have been like a first grade fantasy, just being with the girl you have a crush on and be like, watch out, and like picking her up and diving.
There was a little bit of that.
By that boulder. Did you say watch out? Did anybody yell, or was it just a unanimous, let's get the fuck out of the way?
I think the guy who leaned on the rock and realized that it was falling yelled something.
Piece of shit.
No, he didn't know. It was so
big. Leaning on a big rock at the top of a hill?
It was so big you would assume it's just like a fixture in the mountain or something.
It's been there for generations.
It probably
has. It definitely has.
Yeah.
Just disrupted the mountain permanently.
But it sounded like it took out like a fucking tree on the like if something like that big like hits a tree going that fast.
Humans definitely had a lot more of those moments where they were like about to die and they sort of had that fight or flight blackout response.
Mm-hmm.
And that probably made them a lot happier overall.
Yeah.
I think. Because like our lives are so safe now, relative. Can you imagine how fucking exciting it would be to get chased by like a saber tooth with the boys and then you all make it back and you're fucking high-fiving around the fire and dancing, playing the drums?
Yeah.
That's got to be the best.
I mean, I'd feel like if you're like you're a hunter-gatherer or something, like, do you even fear death nearly as much as someone like today would?
What do you mean?
Do you even really fear death? Especially if like you believe in like a god or something and you think you're going to go into an afterlife.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, did those...
They probably. I feel like it depends on the tribe.
I guess you naturally have a fear of death, just
Yeah,
because of
biologically.
biologically for like preserving yourself. I don't.
Yeah,
This
that's
is turning into
no. Well, I totally.
dudes pretending to know about science. People love podcasts
I could do that
like
all
this,
day.
right?
Well, speaking of, you reminded
I
me.
think it's a biological mechanism for self-preservation.
There's gotta be. That's just life. Life finds a way.
Life finds a way. I don't know if I can do
so there's you reminded me of this. I read a book, and it was about a group of kids. It wasn't about this, but this was part of it. It was detailing like hot springs in Yellowstone, and it told a story about a group of kids, like teenagers, just like you guys, and they would go and bathe in some of the cooler hot springs. It was still like a hot tub, but it wasn't obviously lethal. And then on the way back, it was like 6 of them. On the way back, they were jumping over like another spring, and they didn't see it, and they all just landed in it, and they all died.
Oh my God!
Isn't that crazy? Just in the dark, didn't know where they were stepping, just one by one, ding, 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 just all dead.
That's so scary.
I know,
Drowning
it's terrifying.
in the dark.
Drowning, you're boiling.
Oh, boiling! Yeah, being boiled
The only
alive.
thing worse than drowning is drowning in boiling hot water.
In a natural cauldron.
That's got to be really bad. Or, when you see the guys that go, like they swim under the ice and then you can't get out.
That's so scary.
I can't imagine fucking banging,
but where
and you
do
can't find the hole.
Why can't they? Oh,
there's
like
one hole.
One
you
hole
go in, and then I don't know what you're doing, but you're venturing too far that way.
Yeah, because how the fuck do you keep track of what direction you're going if you're underwater? You could get turned around.
You're just trying to bang the ice, but you're underwater, so you can't really bang it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be brutal.
Yeah, I'm good with frozen lakes and bodies.
What about pond hockey?
Pond hockey does seem pretty cool.
Yeah, if you fall in with your skates on.
I think if you're
very hard to swim.
But a pond will freeze over like a small pond.
Yeah.
That's not gonna break.
Ask this upon you, I shall. When does a pond become a lake?
I don't know.
I was having this debate with my friend about
Is there an official?
I don't know. And then also I was saying to my friend, what's the difference between woods and forest?
I don't know. Is that just interchangeable?
I don't know. I think we Googled the woods and forest thing, and it was something about the type
different
of
flora, different fauna.
Yeah, something like that. Dude, you might really. I think you know a little more than you're letting on. This is pretty good.
Flora, fauna,
biological death response.
Biological death response.
Biological.
My dad's friend was all drunk one time, and he was like pissing in the dark in the woods, and we were like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm just checking out the fauna."
That's awesome.
I think fauna is animals though. Flora.
Fauna? No, I don't. Is it?
Yeah.
Fauna.
And
I always thought fauna was like
the
leaves
plants.
and stuff.
Maybe.
Flora, fauna?
Maybe.
Flora?
I don't know.
Flora might be the leaves
Flora.
and stuff. Flora and
Sounds
fauna?
like it would be flower.
Flora and fauna.
Living in Florida.
Peeing outside is great,
I really
though.
need to get water. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Just go solo.
All right. I don't know if I can be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Right?
Yeah. Should we cut? Now we're back.
Now we're back. I have to say something.
Yeah.
I don't have to say it. Sorry. I don't know why. I apologize. You just coughed on my knee. But
sorry.
It's okay. What was I going to say? I felt like the hairs on my knee moved.
Did any mucus get on there?
No, I don't think so.
That's disgusting. What are you saying?
There's a comic who has a joke where they're like, what do you think is the best part about being a guy? And it's made me think about that. I really think it's just the ability to pee anywhere you want. Like
Yeah,
if you're
nice.
outside.
Yeah.
I went to Australia. Every single time we went to the bathroom, well, peeing, you just peed outside.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, watch out for the snakes. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You don't want to get your dick bit by a snake.
No.
That's worst case scenario.
No.
In the outback.
No.
Yeah, I have known some baller ladies though that'll just squat. In
No
the bush.
way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty. I've seen a comic that's a lady.
She popped a squat.
Well,
like in an
yeah,
alley?
she behind a 7-Eleven.
I think it's just messier for them.
It was
which
gross.
sucks.
It was a hot day, so you could hear the liquid hitting, and then it was sort of like when you put like you crack an egg onto a hot pan, like the. the sizzling sound.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was very
repugnant.
Is that the word?
Repugnant?
No, it was night. It was night. It was morning, early morning, 2 a.m.
Gotcha. That's a good time to be pissing.
It's probably one of the best times.
Yeah.
Yeah. The squat and piss
A
is
little squat and piss.
Yeah.
I have trouble pissing in public places sometimes.
Really? I've always
Yeah.
wondered about this.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Next to a guy at a urinal?
Yeah. Obviously, once if I've had 4 or 5 beers or something, it's probably fine.
True.
But I don't know. Sometimes I'll walk into a bathroom with a weird. I'm like, if anyone comes in here, like if I'm alone in the bathroom, I need to start pissing before someone comes in. Because if I haven't started the stream before someone walks in the door, like they don't know it, but they ruin my whole thing. And I just have to pretend like I just pissed, and then I walk away.
Are you serious?
Well, I'll
you don't
wash my
finish?
hands, and then I'll
I don't
figure
wash.
it out, and then I'll come back.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
There was a nightclub that I went to in Spain, in Barcelona. And all the bathrooms were literally just like, it was just a wall that you went against. It was just a bunch of guys with their cocks out.
It's just a wall, like a trough.
It was literally, it was just like a trough. It was like a big metal wall, and you just stood, and everybody was like, I was like beyond fucked up.
Yeah.
And it was just, you were just staring at a row of cocks next to you, which was nice. That's the Europeans are very.
Yeah, it's nice. You get to, you see a bunch of guys hanging hog. You get to. It's a spectacle.
It is a spectacle.
You get to say nice.
Dude, that night, one of the craziest, that was one of the craziest nights ever. I don't really like drinking, as you know.
But you were in Barcelona.
I was in Bartha, and my friends were like, when in Bartha, we have to do something crazy. And
I don't know when to look at the
stare into my baby blues. I always tell the kids I'm coaching in lacrosse, I'm like, stop. I know I have beautiful eyes. Stop looking at them. Watch my stick.
Don't be saying that.
It gets them every time, dude. Dude, you got to infuse a little bit of comedy in there to get them to pay attention.
Right.
But in Bartha. So my friends were like,
Barcelona.
By the way, I have to say, shout out Spanish women, the hottest women I've ever seen in my entire life.
Shout out to the Spanish women.
They are so beautiful. Barcelona. I swear to God, I saw them walking by me on the sidewalk, and they said, wow. They said, gringo. And I said, wow, you are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. I swear to God.
What did they think of you?
They loved me.
Nice.
I'm serious. It's the only time I've ever had women look at me, ever. And
nice.
my Asian friends were all like, Harry, what's going on right now?
So it's you and a bunch of Asians in Barcelona?
3 Asians, 3 whites.
Nice.
Perfect ratio. But so they were like,
we're
in Bartha. We're in Spain. We have to go to a nightclub at some point. And so we try to go in Madrid, and we all get super fucked up before we go. Because I'm like, I have to be such a level of drunk to just enter this atmosphere.
Right.
That I should just not even be aware of my surroundings. And we walk into this club, and literally the moment I go in, it's just one of those moments where you're like, and you're like, I'm not drunk enough. It's not even close. And I just stood there like a limp boner. Just a limp boner. That's it's like a good Nazi. But I just stood there like a boner the entire time. And then I just left. They were like trying to hold on to my arm, and the bouncer was like, if you're going to stay, stay. And I was like, I'm going to leave. So I fucking
you did
I like at 4 a.m. I walked back to the hostel. I got locked out of the hostel, and I had to wait there till like 7 a.m. It was so stupid.
No.
But so I was like, I'm never doing that again. I'm never going to a stupid club. Then we go to Bartha, and then we get even more drunk, and my friends are like, when in Bartha, we gotta go to a club, because apparently that's one of the best clubbing scenes in the world.
Okay.
And I'm even more drunk than the first time. So we're walking to this club, and this time I'm really like, I'm like shadow boxing on the sidewalk on the way there. I'm like, I'm ready. I'm going to get in there and be super pumped. And then same exact thing. We get in. It's just a warehouse. There are so many people that you can't even move. And there are flashing strobe lights everywhere. You can't see anything. You can't hear a single thing. If you and I could not have a conversation, it was that fucking loud. It was deafening. And I get in there, same thing. I'm like, I'm not drunk enough for this. But you get 2 drinks free, and I immediately down them. We're all standing in the middle of this gigantic mosh pit. I can't hear anything. I can't see anything. I'm so disoriented. I want to just be home. And then, like, this magical moment happens where I look on the upper balcony and it's just this fat Spanish guy sitting there. And he like we lock eyes in like the midst of this dark warehouse with all these flashing lights and sounds. And he's like 30 feet away from me on this balcony. He's like hanging his arms over, just a fat Spanish guy. And he
Was he in a good mood?
He appeared to be in a jolly mood. And he looked at me and he just goes, hmm? Like that from like 30 feet away.
Fun.
And I
Could be
literally, I
worse.
was like a hot girl and I was like, huh? And then I looked around and he was like, mm-hmm.
So you fucked this big fat guy?
You just wait. I wish. That would have been way better. But so he sees me, he points at me and he's like, hmm? And I was like, huh? And then he was like, mm-hmm. And then he sort of looks at me because we can't like verbalize. And he was like, oh, like, what's going on? Like, why aren't you happy? And I just kind of, I like look around and like, I don't know. And then he just like, he ponders for a little bit and then he just goes, And he pulls out a pack of blunts.
Oh,
and then he like pulls one out and he goes, and literally from 30 feet away, I'm like, uh-huh. And then he just goes and just throws it. And I like,
these were like blunts? Like
yeah.
And he had them pre-rolled.
Yeah.
And wow.
And he just flicked it.
What a guy. That's awesome.
Flicked it from the top balcony. And I just blindly reached up with my hands and clapped them together, pulled them down. I caught the fucking blunt. And then I got a guy to light it for me. And from that point on, it was like the greatest night of my entire life.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There was a guy in a wheelchair and everybody was like, it was like the Red Sea splitting open for him. And I held it for him as he drove by.
Nice.
No, rode by.
Oh, and he hit
Yeah,
it.
I was literally like holding it for him. Yeah, as soon as I got that blunt.
Man, yeah, if you're in a wheelchair at a crowded club, you're in for the experience.
You really are.
You have to that whoever's in that wheelchair is probably cool as fuck.
Cool as fuck or angry as fuck. Because you
Yeah.
could just have him there against his will, I guess. Yeah.
I hope
Well,
not.
Daniel Tosh has that joke where he's making fun of
We're
handicapped
going
people.
to the club whether you like it or not.
Yeah, just we have a hill, so it's at the bottom of it. You don't have a choice. Daniel Tosh has that joke about handicapped people where he's like, I don't give a fuck, and if they don't like it, turn their chair around. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Would you date a woman in a wheelchair? Say she's got Joe Swanson noodle legs.
Probably not, honestly. Sorry.
Whoa.
I don't know what their lived experience is like. I think it would be hard. I'm not saying it's not a possibility, people.
It seems like you're now talking to America.
Look. No, probably not. Would you?
Definitely not. No, that's gross.
Yeah.
But that's fucked up that you wouldn't.
Yeah.
If it were if it were a situation where I was married to her and then she broke her legs or like she fucked up her legs,
That's a totally
then
different thing.
still think I'd probably get out of there.
Okay.
I'd still think I'd be like, yeah, this is not good.
This isn't gonna work.
Yeah, we need to walk around together.
Are there people directly?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like this. I like the big window for the natural light, but I'll have it open and I'm just like in here and I'll just make eye contact with strangers. And I hate it.
It's incredibly intimate.
Well, one time this guy was walking out front here and then I like set something down right by the window and the curtain was open and then he like looked at me and then I looked at him, but then he like kept staring at me and then it became like kind of combative where it's like,
you can't back down.
I'm allowed to look out the window.
It's your window.
It's my window. Don't look at me in my window.
Uh-huh.
And then he started walking up the stairs and I was like, And then he came down and it was my landlord at night. I forgot what he looked like.
Oh boy. Did he shoot you a text or an email that was like, this is my place, right? Kind of looking at me like you own the place.
I did get that vibe, though, where he was like, I'm entitled to look in your window because I own the place.
Yeah.
Not the case. Don't look at my fucking window. I don't care. I pay the rent.
I mean, you're residing here.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
I reside here.
I do reside here.
I do reside here.
It's like a sassy plantation owner.
Jesus.
All right. What was I gonna say?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No. Don't be sorry. My landlord, he's always drunk, like all the time.
Nice.
And,
Classic landlord behavior.
Yeah, he's a beast, and
If you're
he's a good guy.
You're not an alcoholic. I don't know.
I think you should be, because you've already figured stuff out enough to be a landlord.
Landlords love.
If you have
wine.
Lord in your name, wait, what?
Landlords love wine.
They do, yeah.
I feel like that's built in.
Eugene's more of a beer guy,
Okay.
but
Sure.
I'm
Yeah,
sure he
either
dabbles
beer-
with Pinot.
You think he's a white wine guy?
Is that? I thought. Well, I don't know.
I guess there's probably other.
I don't know
ones
what he's
yeah.
doing. Well, so he came up one time and he was definitely a little under the influence, and he was
Mhm.
talking to me and my roommate, and I was kind of just, I think we were probably high too, so it was a really great interaction between three people, and we just like got to asking him what was going, because he's got the basement apartment. We've got like a 3-story thing, and I got to ask. He was like talking about how the neighbors below us were complaining about their washing machine not working, and he was talking about like the electricity or something, and I was like, what are you doing down there, like experiments? Is there like a lab? And he looks at us and he goes, of sorts. And we still, and then I was like, what? And he was like, you know what, never mind. And he still has not told us. We don't know what's going on down there.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy. Of sorts.
Of sorts. Yeah,
And then
very
I
vague.
kept trying to go back to it, and he was like,
Huh.
that's not. That's not. So
Do
it
you
could be like a Walter White situation.
Yeah. Do you have guesses as to what it was?
I have no idea. I think he's cooking something up.
He's cooking something.
Either way, I respect him a lot. And there was one time where he's a man of the people, dude. There was one time where he was sitting outside, just getting tipsy, and it was late at night. And this is, well, it wasn't late at night. It was afternoon. This is when I just moved into the apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and I was walking through the alley that's adjacent to our apartment, and there was a homeless guy he had a wheelchair, but he was standing up going through the dumpster, and I was like, God damn it. I don't want to deal with this. So I kind of just like drove my car, parked on the street, and I was like, he'll be gone by the time I get back there.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, I get there, and he's on the wheelchair now, like scooting down the alley, and I'm like, I just got a Formula One just overtake right around the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to keep my head forward. And as I pass him, he goes, Harry Meredith. And I get chills. Like my asshole clenches. He goes, Harry Meredith. Harry Meredith. And then he goes, Prince Harry. Prince Harry. And I'm literally just like, what the fuck? I'm like, am I wearing a hoodie with my name on it? I'm not. I haven't gotten mail to this place yet. I just moved in here. He just keeps saying it. He just keeps going, Harry Meredith. And then he goes, you got a black woman sucking your dick? You got a black woman sucking your dick, Harry Meredith? Prince Harry, you got a black woman sucking your dick? And I am freaking the fuck out. I turn the corner around like this chain link fence, and I talk to Eugene. I'm like eyes wide. I'm like, he's like, that's a weird fucking guy. And I was like, he knew my name. He like knew my full name.
Did he find like an envelope with your name in the trash?
I don't know. I hadn't gotten any mail. I hadn't even changed my address at that point.
You said that.
And
That's
it was so great. And so, but this guy's still standing out there tweaking behind a fence.
mm-hmm.
And then it gets to the point where my other, like I told you about the family earlier, the
Mm-hmm.
reason he thought that I was the father of the little black kid. That's why he was saying that, because it's a biracial kid, because the dad's white.
Oh,
So he
okay.
thought that I was that guy, that dad. So
Okay.
literally like half of our neighbors are all clumped around here. And then my landlord is like, I'm going to go talk to him. And we're like, all right. So he gets up from his lawn chair. We watch him walk, and he goes behind the chain link fence and talks to him. And at one point, I just see him fist bump the homeless guy. And then he walks back to us, and he's like, I talked to him. He's not going to be back around here anytime soon. And you know, he's going to get out of here. And I told him basically to scram. And then I was like, did you? And then at one point he was like, you know, those homeless guys, they're kind of nasty. And I was like, Eugene, did you fist bump him? And he was like, no. And I was like, I saw you fist bump him. And then he just looks at me and he goes, I've been drinking tonight.
He's actually my new friend.
Yeah.
He will be back, not to harass us. Just
Fast
to hang
friend. He's just coming to hang.
Out. Fast friends. This unhinged man.
Yeah.
He's my new bud.
I've thought about that. Like, you see an unhinged guy in the subway, be like, what if
that became your
we
best
became
friend?
very good pals?
Yeah. It would be tough. You'd have to put up with a lot.
You would.
And you,
Would you rather be best friends with a schizophrenic or marry a woman with noodle legs?
I'd rather be best friends with a schizophrenic.
Are you serious?
I feel like I've already come close to that.
I'm
so.
going noodle legs for sure. Really? You've had a close to schizophrenic
No, we're not going
friend?
down that path.
We can bleep it.
No.
We can start the pod right now.
No, I don't want to talk about schizophrenia.
All right, that's fine.
What else? Something we haven't. I don't know why I started talking.
No, it's okay.
I am okay when
Yeah,
I
wait.
talk this loud. It's like what it should be. We might have to turn up the levels at some point. I don't know, but we do have a signed copy of Al Di Meola's album Casino. But yeah, it's a CD signed by Big Al himself.
So tell me the story behind that. How did Big Al sign that?
My friend went to an Al Di Meola show, and he bought the CD, and he got it signed, and then he gave it to me.
And
My
tell the
friend
folks
gave it to me.
where they would know Al Di Meola from.
He's a talented guitar player. I actually don't really listen to him very much.
Really?
My friend just gave it to me, so I said, it's my new showpiece.
Your friend got it signed and then just gave it away?
Yeah, he got it signed for me.
Oh. Okay, that's a good friend. Was this a schizo?
No.
How much do you think that's worth?
Probably
With
nothing.
and without the signature.
Probably nothing.
Yeah.
Without the signature, probably more. No, I'm kidding.
The Sharpie just devalues it.
I don't know. Whatever a CD goes for.
You know what? I've always
$15.
thought about, like, people are always like, what's your goal in comedy? My goal is to get to the point where I'm being like, I have like 3 huge black bodyguards trying to shove me into a limousine, and then a woman is pressing her bare breast against the window, and I have to roll it down and sign it with a Sharpie.
Yeah, you'll get there.
I hope so. That's really all I care about.
You need the bodyguards and the tits against
more
the
the-
window.
Yeah, it's more
That
the
specific scenario needs to happen
correct.
for you to feel any sort
Fulfilled.
of joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that's above pass at the cellar at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about comedy?
No.
Okay.
I was gonna. I don't know.
I'll talk about it. I bombed so
no.
hard last night that,
Yeah.
it's worth. We
What?
could cover that.
I don't know. I was thinking about that. I'd rather not talk about it.
That's fine.
I don't know. What do you think?
I'm willing to talk about anything.
Yeah.
I'm really an open guy.
Open book. Harry Meredith.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you don't want to talk about it, I want to talk about it. We can go back to the noodle leg stuff.
I just feel like there's so much of that in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I liked where you were asking me if I would if I would marry someone with noodle. No, I don't want to go back to that either. Maybe I'm not an open enough book for this.
I think you're just open enough. No, I mean you were getting personal. You almost died from a rock.
Yeah, rock, but that story is more just to make me look cool, you know?
It did. Yeah. Podcasting, like anything else, it's just a certain amount of reps that you got to put in before, people acknowledge your prowess.
No, I do think this is good just in general. Yeah.
Just in general.
Broadcasting. We're broadcasters.
Yeah, we are. Hey, what's your biggest regret?
Biggest regret in life? I don't know. I think I regret a lot of my 20s, I would say.
Really?
Just not being very proactive about doing anything.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Are the neighbors out there?
Yeah, they are.
God damn it.
My biggest regret is having this
turn
window
away from them.
completely open.
Turn away from the neighbors.
Oh, man.
Don't stop looking at them. Stop it, Harry.
For a bald man, he certainly has quite an ass.
Harry, you gotta stop ogling my neighbor's ass.
Back to the eye contact thing. My friend told me, he said, I learned this in Spain and France. He said, if you want to see if a girl's checking you out, look at her when you're passing and then look away and then look back. And if she's looking back on that second look back,
Go for it.
Go for it.
Okay. A Frenchman told you this?
An Asian man.
An Asian
An
man.
Asian American told me this.
Nah,
An Asian
that's
American
good.
who's
I
had
thought-
sex with one person ever told me
That
that.
is good. I was thinking it was like a Frenchman who has had sex with
No.
thousands
A
of
guy
women.
named Pierre. Pierre. No.
A dirty whore of a man.
Yeah, dirty whore.
This
Just
is
a smelly,
Pierre.
stinky
He's
whore
a-
named Pierre.
This is Pierre. He's a stinky whore.
I think that women like that stank that Pierre's got going on, though. You know what I
Right.
mean?
No, definitely.
Like the no deodorant. You don't care.
I've come across stinky people getting lots of bitches.
I thought you were gonna say that you came across stinky people that you were attracted to.
No.
You've never had a stank that came across your way and you got a little happy.
No, I don't like smelly people.
Little musk.
No, I don't like. If someone's
Musty?
smelly, I'm out of there.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
you can't.
Yeah.
I think just basic hygiene. I think it's important.
That's where you and I differ.
You
I
like
like a disgusting girl.
you like a girl that smells.
I want to smell her from a mile away. You know how a great white shark can like taste a drop of blood or smell a drop of blood from a mile away or something?
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of how I want to be.
Like she walks in, you're like, "What's that?"
Yeah,
Before
exactly.
you
She
can
walks
even
into the
see
bar and
her.
it just close up on one of like the nose hairs twitching.
It's kind of those Pepe Le Pew cartoons where the smell. He like
I get carried off
he
by it. Yeah,
levitates.
my
Yeah,
feet
he
are just
levitates.
like just like
Yeah.
inches above the ground. I think that's been because I started rock climbing so much.
really.
Yeah, you see a girl reach for a jug, and she's got her armpit hair in your face.
Oh, gotcha.
I just want to braid it.
So you're into armpit hair.
Yeah, only on women though.
Interesting.
On men, cut that. That's gross. That's disgusting. What are
Yeah.
you doing? You know.
But
But on a woman, be free.
do you think
As long as they're not putting deodorant on it, because then it's sort of like, what's the point of having this? What's the point of
Yeah.
having a jungle if you're going to trim it? Well, I guess that's not trim.
you don't want the
That's-
jungle to be
You wouldn't Febreze.
deodorized?
Yeah. Yeah. I want the natural fauna.
Yeah. Because the plants produce oxygen.
They produce oxygen. Yeah. Yeah, her armpit hair is taking CO2 out of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Eco warrior.
My friend that I lived with was dating a girl who had armpit hair.
Ooh.
I always wanted to say something to him about it. Like,
What do you say,
What's
though?
going
How do you
on there?
approach that?
you don't say anything about it.
Yeah.
You just don't. And I
Yeah.
didn't. So
You're a good man.
they
You're better
broke
than
up.
man. You're a better man than I, because I would have gone up to him and been like, "That's so fucking sexy." When your girlfriend's here, I can't focus.
Yeah, I guess everyone's got their thing.
Yeah.
Does that extend? You would like someone with hairy legs then?
The more hair, the better.
Oh my god!
Yeah. I hate.
That's
There's
interesting. I'm
nothing.
learning new things.
I
about
can't
you.
stand when you're hooking up with a girl, and she
doesn't
pulls
have hairy legs.
no hair on her legs. No hair on her legs. What am I gonna brush my hand against?
So if you were to date someone, you'd get bossy about it. You'd be like, "Don't shave your."
Stop. Stop it. Leave it.
My boyfriend's very controlling about my hair.
That's actually kind of funny.
He's a
Yeah.
psycho.
My boyfriend's very
This
controlling
guy
about my
here is a
body
fucking
hair.
psycho. You gotta
He
get
makes
away
me
from
shave everything. He makes me keep it.
him. He makes me keep all the hair.
He makes me keep it long. I want it long. I want to curl my tongue on your pubic hair.
But it's all for the
Ooh.
purpose of like harvesting. Like you want the hairs to be as long as possible,
Mhm.
and then you collect them.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like a sheep. Have you ever seen a sheep? Have you ever seen a sheep that hasn't been shorn?
A sheep that has not been shorn. Yeah. Do they
A
get
sheep
they get,
that has not
they
been
get really
shorn.
like shaggy, right?
Yeah, they get shaggy.
Yeah.
And they get so shaggy that they can't even like. Have you seen the pictures?
I don't know.
I'll put one up.
I've seen the movie Babe.
They, like,
there were a
can't
lot of
even-
sheep in there.
Wait,
I
I'm gonna-
remember sheep being shorn in that movie.
I'm gonna show you a picture of this because it's actually
There's
gonna
also Babe 2, Pig in the City.
Really? Is that seriously a thing?
Have you seen those movies?
Unshorn sheep. Look
What was Babe 2 called?
at this, dude.
Was it Big Pig, Big Hog, and the Big City?
They just turned into a marshmallow.
Babe 2, just Babe, Pig in the City.
Look at that.
Is it cruel to leave sheep unshorn? That does look cruel. It
So,
looks like it
but
would be
then-
hot. It's like
so-
it's stuck in a sleeping bag.
Is that because we bred sheep to grow their hair that much? Or is that wool? What's the
I have
difference
no
between
idea.
wool and hair? I guess I'm more attracted to wool.
What's the
Alright.
difference between wool and hair?
Yeah.
I don't know. Isn't it's all like coiled up and shit?
It's just thick hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But wool is like way more useful than
Do you...
you can't make a coat out of human hair.
Yeah, you could.
You could.
Just be very thin coat. I think that's what linen is. Or, not linen. Oh, man.
Linen.
What's like the super... Like, it's like the sexy... Oh, what's it called? Women...
Satin.
Satin?
I don't
We're
know.
close.
I'm just naming fabrics.
It's a super thin one, super light. It's like you're wearing nothing.
Mesh.
No, definitely not mesh. Fuck, I don't think I'm gonna
It's like you're wearing nothing.
pull this. Silk.
Silk.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just hair.
No, that's from
Or is that spider-
silkworms.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, they're silk is ejaculate.
I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Maybe it's a part of the ejaculate family.
Yeah, I believe it is. I think you're wearing
Yeah.
ejaculate.
I don't really know how they make silk. I mean, I know that
They
there's
must work the
silkworms,
shit out of
but I
those
don't
worms,
know
yeah.
what the process is.
Are there free range worms, or are they farm?
I have no idea.
Do you think you can feel the difference between a farm raised and a free range silkworm? Silk?
I'm wondering how much one silkworm is producing.
Not a lot.
Probably
There's
not
no
a lot.
way.
Probably need a fuck.
Yeah, how much silk goes into a single panty?
I have no idea.
If there could be a worm
You're
to
leading me down a
panty,
corridor.
like a horsepower conversion. You know, it's like 2.6 horses is 1 horsepower or something.
2.6 horses is
No,
1
it's
horsepower.
not. It's not that. It's
That'd
some other number that's weird.
What kind of horse are they referencing when they say horsepower?
I think a very strong
Like a
one.
Clydesdale or maybe
No.
maybe a Palomino. How it
Hey, folks.
Hey, how we doing?
Hey, Palomino. I don't
This
even
is
know.
a horse podcast.
A what?
This is a
horse
This is a
podcast?
horse podcast where we talk about
Talk about
horses.
horses. Horse girls.
Horse girls. What have they been up to lately?
I don't know
Sorry,
how
I don't
you
know why I put on that.
How do you transition out of the horse girl phase where you're just drawing? Dude, there was a girl in my elementary school. So I was in advanced art for like drawing,
Mm-hmm.
and this girl was in that class because she was phenomenal at drawing horses. She couldn't draw anything but horses. The best horses you've ever seen in your life.
That's
But
what
if
she
you
was
told her
like.
to draw even a donkey, she
Yeah.
would lose it.
Yeah.
She had no bearing on
Just
anything.
horses.
Yeah, it was
That was
really
her
crazy,
comfort
her
zone.
specialization. But I mean, the greatest horses you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I just don't. If you're a horse girl, once you grow up and you realize that you can't own a horse, what happens?
I think a lot of the horse girls do.
Horse girls
end up
call
owning
in.
a horse.
Really? It's got to be a very expensive. I can't even
Yeah.
own a cat.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're a horse person, you're kind of in a different strata of society where you're even. If you grow up with
You
a
could-
horse, I mean, a horse costs like at least $10,000, and then you have to have.
That's a down
barn.
payment.
You
Yeah,
have
and
to
you're
have
not
a
even talking about
barn.
the food.
You have to have land,
Oh, Sam's calling right now.
and then there's the feed. You
Yeah.
gotta have horse feed.
Horse feed.
I mean, there's the shots.
Yeah.
I feel like if you grew up with I don't know. Don't you probably have some like generational wealth where
You're
like
assuming every horse girl grew up with a horse?
a lot? Yeah, although I
No,
mean, I don't know
absolutely
any
not.
horse girls now. I knew them growing up. There were maybe a few.
I think the majority. Sorry to throw around some big
Or
words.
if you're from like, okay, maybe if you're from like Montana, you're not like extravagantly rich. I mean, there's probably normal people in like a place like that would have horses.
If it's your main form of transportation, you're not rich.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Are you saying that the horse girls, it's their main form of transportation?
for some,
No.
I think that Dude, my
Which
dad.
time period are we talking?
Late Renaissance.
I'm in modern day time.
My dad rode a horse to school one time.
Really?
Yeah, it was like his senior prank. Him and his buddy rode their horses to school.
Wow.
Yeah.
We were looking at my dad's high school yearbook, and so it's from
Oh boy.
the late 70s, I guess. And they were like going through the pictures, and there was this picture of all these kids in the school gym on donkeys,
No way.
like playing basketball, and we're like,
What?
what is this? And my dad goes, yeah, we had donkey basketball.
What?
And it's apparently donkey basketball is a thing.
No
People
fucking
ride
way.
donkeys. It doesn't seem cool for the donkeys.
No.
Well, it's not like, yeah, it doesn't
Well,
seem
we don't
great.
know. They could.
You can ride a donkey, right? They're
I
doing
mean,
it
as
in
a kid,
donkey
as a kid,
basketball.
I'm assuming that's the
It
most
doesn't
humane.
look like they're built for it. Maybe, yeah, if a 50-pound kid did it.
They're actually bred for basketball. That's crazy. You have to find that picture. Like
It
I'm
was really funny.
100%.
It was funny
Serious.
that he was like, yeah, donkey basketball.
You've never played donkey basketball? You never found a donkey and a bunch of friends? And
Yeah, that's where you're like, wow, it really was a different time.
God, that'd be tough to meet up at a park.
They brought donkeys to their high school to
Yeah.
ride them.
Imported donkeys. God, could you imagine like you and your pals meet up at the park and you're like, wow, we forgot the donkeys. We can't play now. What use is a basketball? Have we no donkeys?
Yeah, can't.
That's
I'm
absolutely.
not gonna
That's absurd.
play this on my feet.
PETA's got to be all over that by now, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if donkey basketball was ever popular enough for PETA to catch wind
What
of it.
area of the world was this in?
This is in Illinois, in the suburbs of Illinois.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Huh.
it would sound like something you would do in like Idaho or something.
I could believe Illinois. Outside of Chicago, Illinois gets pretty Midwest.
This is not a rural area though.
Then I'm out
don't
of then I'm out of ideas. Then I have
don't
no
know.
explanation for
Yeah.
donkey basketball.
That's interesting.
Could you imagine pitching that as the curriculum? Be like, we're gonna do basketball for the kids, and be like, we've got an excess of donkeys. I was thinking we could throw those in.
You could throw them in.
We've got 5 donkeys ready to go.
We had extra money in the budget. We picked up some donkeys at the livestock show, and now we got to figure out what to do with them. So donkey basketball was born.
Yeah, that's got to be a real symbiotic relationship between your donkey cutting through the lane, trying to get a pass. You got to be really on the same page. Like your chemistry with your donkey has to be phenomenal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like before the game, you're like petting your donkey, and you're like, okay.
It's a real Aragon situation where you're like putting
Yeah.
your heads together. Like
I've
Come
never
on now.
read. I'm not familiar with Aragon. This is a dragon one.
I'm
Does
not
he have
either.
A special
I think it's
connection with the
similar to. He's got to. It's
It's
like
usually
in Avatar.
like they're
how
a
they,
dragon whisperer or something.
Yeah.
It's like every.
in Avatar, they just rape the dragon. Have you seen that?
Well, no, they connect their little like.
That's how they have sex,
tendrils.
though. And
Oh,
and if you
that's
watch,
how he has sex with the lady. Does he? Does
Yeah,
he have sex
and
with
the tree.
with the hot alien lady? in
Yeah,
the
he
movie?
does.
Nice.
And that's how they do it. That's they like their tails fuck, they intertwine. But I rewatched the scene about where he was like picking his dragon or whatever, and it was like a horse where it's like you have to break it.
Yeah.
And so it was like actively fighting against him as he was like wrangling its tail to then put his tail.
Are you sure they don't have other genitals? I mean, let's not throw smut on James Cameron's name. Did he sexually assault a creature in the movie?
I believe he did.
Okay. all
I
right.
believe he did.
Harry Meredith going on record. James Cameron, watch out.
Well, they have. I mean, they have.
I hate that guy.
You hate James Cameron?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Because of the
He's
lack
making
of
like
genitals?
6 Avatar movies.
No, he's not. He's not.
Someone needs to
The world's
pull him
gonna
aside
end.
and
The
tell
world.
him
Let's be
you don't
honest,
need to
dude. The
do
world's
that.
gonna end before we get to Avatar 4.
If you look it up, they have like they're already filming like the 5th Avatar.
No, they're not.
I'm sort of embellishing, but it's that crazy. I swear to God.
What?
I'm serious. I don't want to pull my phone out and Google
No,
it.
don't.
But
stay in the moment.
It's pretty funny. I thought it was a joke when I first. Somehow I stumbled across something about it.
Were you ever in
About Avatar like 4 or 5. And I was like, what?
It's just going to be the same exact formulaic plot over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
The plot's been dog shit every single time.
I never saw the second one.
Neither
I saw
did
the
I.
first one when it came out, and it was cool because That was like the most high budget movie. Up to
Highest
that point.
grossing too, I think.
Oh, really?
Right.
I don't know.
I had that. That was in. Did you ever have a minivan with the screens?
A minivan with the screens?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Sorry
yeah,
to flex on you.
We didn't have a minivan, but we did have a car with a screen in it.
That was our
sick.
movie. We had The
Yeah.
Incredibles and we had Avatar and Ella
Nice.
Enchanted.
Nice.
So I've seen
yeah,
Avatar
watching a movie in a car as a kid.
a trillion times.
Nice.
It is.
Pretty sweet.
It's like watching a movie on a plane.
Yeah.
Get a little more emotional
Yeah.
when you
What
watch
is that? Your emotions are heightened on a plane?
something with the altitude.
Weird. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. Maybe that's why the babies are freaking out. Probably because they're on a plane.
A lot of the times the babies, they can't regulate their ear pressure. Like, they can't do that.
Oh.
So their ears start hurting. That's why if
How do
you
you
go
know
on a
that?
plane, they will start freaking out as soon as you get up to altitude. And then as soon as you land, they're fine. That's the worst part about it, is that they're completely quiet once the fucking plane lands. You're like, okay.
Oh, now.
Yeah, you're like, oh, now. I was on a plane one time where this married couple, their baby just like threw up everywhere. And it smelled so bad. I was gagging like 10 feet away. I couldn't imagine what it smelled like right next to them.
Dude.
They were so bummed out. I
don't
so
blame
bad
them at
for
all.
them.
Did they get a bag on it or anything? Like,
I don't know.
or was it just completely out of nowhere?
It seemed like I couldn't see everything that was going on. It seemed like the baby maybe threw up all over the wall or something.
Oh man!
I kind of caught a glimpse of it because they
Coated
were
the
ahead of
window.
me. And yeah.
Oh god.
It at least happened like towards the end,
True.
but the stench was just
Unbearable.
insane.
Recircling that. My brother, when we went to Australia last year, he was sitting next to me, and as we were descending, I turned to him and I was like, "Hey, do you think you could ever be a fighter pilot?" And he looks at me and he goes, and I was like, "Oh shit, I think Teddy's about to puke." And then like literally 10 seconds later, like we're like 50 feet from the tarmac, he just grabs his hoodie and just vomits all in it, and it like overflows the hoodie, and it's like spilling everywhere.
Yeah, because he couldn't go to the bathroom.
No,
the planes
he didn't have enough time. And then
that's a fucking snafu.
as he's puking, and he like grabs another thing to puke in, and it's just like just keeps going.
Damn.
As he's puking, I'm like trying to lean against the window to get as far away from possible, and I see through the aisle there's a bald guy in the middle, and he just pulls out a puke bag, and he's like, "You should have used this."
Yeah, dude.
So we looked like fucking idiots.
Yeah, it's
too.
on every plane.
And that stench,
Most of
as
the
you were
time.
just saying, I was so close to throwing up. Like I had to hold my. I was just breathing just out of my mouth.
Yeah.
It was so horrendous.
Yeah, it's that like acidic smell.
Yeah, it's like tangy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's got a tang.
And you can almost like.
It's a bad tang.
It's like the bad tang.
It's
I'm good
that
at. I'm into
bad tang.
good tang, but bad tang is.
Good tang, great. Bad tang, extra bad.
I
Extra
I
bad.
could not agree more on your tang evaluation. Yeah, I can't stand a bad tang.
Yeah. The tang is a bad multiplier. I don't know. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, how long have we been talking?
Yeah, get out of that one.
Hour 21.
Holy shit.
Okay. I think we could probably say that's good, right?
Do you want to just go to the battery dice?
On the camera?
Yeah.
Not particularly.
All right.
We could do
Let's
it.
get the fuck out of here.
We could
then.
take a break.